So, what'd you guys think of the Millennium Actress? Good?
This movie has destroyed me.
Well, I guess we don't. We'd have to do the hey, let's catch up. But let's do catch up. How was Luke? Atticus, how was your trip? Well, not Atticus, but Luke, how was your trip to Oregon?
Trip to Oregon, amazing. I actually, I kind of despise you a little bit for leaving that place. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, but
Yeah,
okay.
wait till you go downtown.
Oh,
Downtown. It's
Did you
gorgeous.
guys go
Actually,
to
in
Disney
comparison to where I've lived, Portland, not that bad. I'll be
Hey,
honest.
you know what? Oh, go ahead.
A lot of people complain about like homelessness there or whatever, but they haven't seen San Diego. I'm gonna say it right now. It's way nicer. Sure, there are homeless people, but they take care of themselves. It looks like they take care of themselves way more than they do in San Diego.
Man, you didn't go to the right
You didn't
places.
you didn't see San Diego.
You're right, and I did see something on YouTube about But anyway, well,
Anyway.
good. I'm glad it was a pleasant experience for you.
Yeah, I
Too
liked
bad
it.
you didn't. I
I
didn't
got to see
know.
couscous.
Yeah.
It was
And
great.
we had a what'd you think couscous of my significant other?
Oh, yeah, I was just like, oh, the food, it was good, dude. I picked the place. Like, no, she was great, man. Super, super cool.
He's the first
I
Lando.
was
Meet her.
honored to get to talk with her and get to know her a little bit.
Good.
cool.
Yeah, it
I'm
was really good.
jealous.
She likes you a lot. She said your brother's
Su-
very intelligent, very cool.
Well,
Aw.
I don't know about all that, but she was super cool. Like, she was really great. You know, the same can be said about her,
Aw.
and
I
is
love
being
that.
said
Where'd
by
you guys
me
go eat?
right now. Bluto's.
Blutos, yeah.
It's like
What's
a Greek
Greek.
fusion place that is
That
like
sounds good.
down
Wow.
the street, or like
Yeah,
down, like I can
around the
see
corner.
my apartment from it. It's so nice. It's really
Cool.
good.
Oh my God. I want to try that.
I got hummus and
I
Yeah,
love,
when you
a
I
shrimp
love
kebab.
hummus.
I
Like, I
don't.
fucking love hummus.
I
So
love
good.
hummus. Chickpeas.
Sorry.
chickpeas,
I
What's the
think
other name for chickpeas?
Why
garbanzo
did you
beans.
say, Chico? The
garbanzo.
waterworks are coming with
Garbanzo
hummus.
beans.
I can't get my AirPods to work either, so I just such a mess.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What do you guys think of my fence?
Oh,
It was
I
sick.
think it's
yeah.
great. It's
Super
Good color
nice.
palette.
So we have to. It would cost.
I'm on
a
the fence
fortune.
about it.
Yeah. It would cost us a fortune to put up a privacy fence, and we'll get around to that eventually. But we've seen all these palette projects. So what we're going to do with that, we're going to paint them pretty colors, and then we're going to hang planters on them and
Oh,
have like an herb garden on there.
You should get a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
succulents.
Those aren't going to grow up there. Those need deep
Not with that
roots.
attitude.
But no, not with that attitude. So.
That's so cool, Dad. I really, really liked it a lot. It was very handy. I was impressed.
Our neighbors came out, and she goes, "I really like your art project." And I was like, "I don't think they do." I was wondering what I said. I'm sure they.
It was passive aggressive, kind of.
I don't know. I mean, they're honest people. They're nice people. I just, art project. It's a fence. So,
Well, it does look like but I did think you were creating some sort of art with it because of the different colors and just
Yeah.
because you sent us the time lapse, and I really did think that the way you were putting it up, I thought you were spelling something out.
Well, and it's funny too because I have 5 colors that I'm using, and then I thought, oh, if I put 5 strips, so I broke it down into sections. I thought if I put 5 sections, or 5, if I paint each color one of the sections 5 times on each palette, then that would balance everything out, right? Because I
I'm
come
not
back,
sure. Maybe.
and then, but I didn't have the thing divided into sections divisible by 5. So when I got to the last 2 colors, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's not enough space to put 5 sections of this blue or whatever. So
Damn.
little mistake. I'll fix it later. We got to get more palettes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, keep us posted.
We will.
Fence Watch 2022.
Or YouTube.
Fence watch.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
So do we want to watch a trailer or do we want to just get right
Wait,
into
no,
it?
we're doing the trailer for the next movie.
I think
the end.
we don't need to watch the trailer at the beginning, but I think it could be fun to watch a trailer for something at the end for like the next for your movie, Dad.
Okay, so we're not going to watch the Millennium Actress trailer.
No, because we
No,
watched it.
we already did.
We
We
already
already
did.
watched it.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I get it. I want to say I want to go last. Is it fair?
You want to go last?
Well, yeah,
All right.
but not for the
Well-
not for the reasons. Yeah.
I'll go first because I picked the movie, right?
Sure.
So I guess
Yeah.
I should explain myself.
Let's
Go-
Yeah.
what-
give us an intro about the movie a little bit.
Well, the Millennium Actress is the Satoshi Kon film. Satoshi Kon has a bunch of a myriad of other movies. Probably the most critically acclaimed is Paprika, which is a little bit more hard fighting, rootin' tootin'.
It's a
and-
Western?
Inception
I
was
just-
actually
I
inspired
just-
by Paprika.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Cool.
But Satoshi Kon is great, but he's kind of got like the Jim Henson story where he was like this amazing genius that worked himself to death. And so it's super sad. But, you know, I think that Satoshi Kon is like a true artist. You know, I really respect all of his work. Millennium Actress, honestly, the reason I picked this one is because, frankly, it's a little boring. Compared to
Really?
his other stuff. Yeah, just compared to his other stuff that is very like visually striking and you know, super loud color palettes and really progressive animation. This is kind of like a nod to like what a cinephile he was, and I thought it was so cool how he could recreate like classic cinema effects in animation. I thought that was really great. And so like I picked this movie because I really like the themes and ideas behind it, right? My favorite book series is the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. And without getting too far into that hornet's nest, one of the main themes in the book is journey before destination, right? And the big thing that they kind of flesh out in the Stormlight Archive is like the theme of like what is the meaning of life, right? And I think that you can hit the gas on the existentialism in that question as much as you want, but at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road, continuing with the car analogies, is the meaning of life is having a life worth living.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie presents that in a really palatable way, as opposed to it having this, you know, really grandiose theme. It's kind of simple in a way, while at the same time being very subtle and complex. And like, just I like the idea of obsession, like the theme of obsession leading to life passing you by is something that resonates with me in a real way.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Cue the waterworks.
Yes. Like I checked my period tracker app and it's today or tomorrow. So I think that has a lot to do with the emotions, but also just life. And Atticus, I agree. Like the whole story was really interesting to me. Just like the whole idea of her obsession with the idea of this man. She didn't even know him.
Yeah.
It was like the idea of him that she was so enthralled with. And then likewise, I don't even know how to, I kept thinking his name's Boss. Like, I don't actually know what
Genya.
He similarly is like looking at this person and he's like so in love with her. And it's like just looking around and how everybody can be in a room and they're looking at somebody else thinking, oh my God, that is happiness. That is the life. That is what I want. And then there's somebody in that room looking at them that way and they have no idea. And like kind of I don't know, it fascinated me, this whole like, the play between reality and these movies or fantasy, and how the lines were very blurred between fact and fiction, and, like, how often are we blurring the lines between, like, what's really happening in our lives and either thinking so much about our past or thinking so much about our future, and, like, you end up missing your life. You end up spending so much time in thought about other times that you miss the life you're actually living. And that for me, it's like that's what broke my heart at the end, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw in a comment. I didn't pick up on that. I I was so obsessed with other things. But
Mm.
go ahead, Luke.
I personally, yeah, I love the movie. I think it really did a good job of what my previous co-hosts have said. Um, that yeah, you just can get obsessed with one thing and miss all the good in between, and every moment just passes in an instant, right? The only time you actually have is right now, and I feel like that movie really brought that into perspective for me as
Mm.
well. It's a perspective I already have, but it reaffirmed what I already believe. And overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It was very pretty, visually
Oh,
striking.
was that
I think it
beautiful.
was like it wasn't like out of this world like Atticus said, but it's still every scene was gorgeous in isolation.
Uh,
Yeah, it
so
really was
uh,
gorgeous.
thank you for that wonderful lead in. So one of the best quotes I have from the movie was, where does he say, directing films is very similar to painting. And I can't remember which character said that, but it was like, yes, every director will say that. It's like you should be able to stop a frame of any movie and it should look like a perfectly composed piece of art. And so I I think so. Let me give this a 10 on the rewatchability score because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's way more complex than
It
I I I still don't know what happened. I still don't know what was going on. I
Me
really
either.
it
It's
was
very it's like a trippy almost.
it
yeah,
is
it's a heady brew.
it's a
Like
bit of a waking life kind of thing. Well, why are these guys filming back? Is she in a movie or is this her real life?
Hmm.
Is
well,
she
right.
really
And like
cursed? Is she really like, what parts are real and what parts are part of the movies she's in?
Yes, and I
well
wonder
and
if
like
it's
and
past lives.
yeah, and like Ida is even like, well, wait, what are we filming here? Like, what am I looking at? Like, what?
Yeah,
How is this happening?
he's almost
Yeah.
like the audience reacting in real
Yeah.
time.
No, like it's so there is a
Yes.
classic trope in anime that is just like, and I can't remember the exact term, and I'm not going to make something up now. But if you watch a lot of anime, there's at least one character that's like, can you believe this? Like,
Right.
you
Like
know,
breaking the
eh,
fourth wall, kind of?
yeah, totally.
They did
And
that
it's
Jim
over and
just
over
Halpert
again.
all
looking
the
at the
time,
camera.
constantly. And this time, the person breaking the fourth wall is ironically the person behind the camera.
Ah,
And so,
that's good. Yes, you're right.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I
and
remember him
so,
saying one time, "Why are we even here?"
yeah,
Yeah.
well, exactly.
Well,
And I,
we're back in
He's like,
Kyoto. That's faster than the bullet
we
train."
kind of look like creepers doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
and,
they're like following
and
a young girl down the street.
so,
No.
So one of my main theories is that Chiyoko has like all of this has already happened a long time ago.
Hmm.
Like every aspect of this, like Satoshi Kon was obsessed with futurism, right? So
Mhm.
I have a theory that you're supposed to be looking through this movie like you're watching it in like the mid 2000s, or at the very least the very late 90s. And so, even if they had made the movie 30 years ago, it would have been too late almost. And so, like, I
Mhm.
like that theory a lot, Dad, of the past lives. And I think that it may be even more complex and have some like multiverse aspects to it as
Hmm.
well, to where you're jumping between these, like realities, or whatever nomenclature you're comfortable with there. Like, and so, yeah, I think that it's definitely more complicated than just like this old lady is going to tell a story. Like, so
Yeah.
I could never tell what was a movie, what was past lives, what was part of what she was saying to that. Was it? It
What
was
was
so
her
So
life?
yeah, it's
I
so
flip flopped
super
actually.
intricate. What?
I flip flopped. I
Oh,
was like, okay. At first, I was like, you know what? They're just viewing her through, or they're like living it out through the ways that she's speaking through her life. And then I flipped to, oh wait, maybe they're filming the movie. And then I flipped to again, maybe this is just a bunch of different past lives, and they're like
well,
transcending.
Genya worked on the Moon movie. He was an
Right, he was.
employee
Yeah,
on
he was
that
there.
right.
movie, and that's how he got the key. So some of the movies are definitely
Definitely
him
movies.
Moon.
working on these films. But I think what I still, and I've seen this movie 5 or 6 times, right? And it is probably like the fifth or the sixth time that I watched it when I watched it for this podcast, and I still can't tell when the documentary starts. Like that's the hardest thing for me to pinpoint,
Mhm.
is when the actual film that Genya is producing to capture Chiyoko's achievements begins, and
But if you
where those lines
but
are.
if you notice at the beginning when she gets on the rocket ship for the first time, the
Yeah,
person at the gangway or the little
Like the other astronaut.
yeah, the other
yeah,
astronaut was not him. It was, it was, and then later it's he and the camera guy.
well, right, like,
But
and so I don't know.
But so he must have been working on the documentary at that point, right?
Mhm.
no,
Yeah,
No.
well,
No.
well,
So
no,
what I
I don't think
no,
so.
what I think was
See,
what I
this is
think.
why I think this is a super complex movie. That's
Oh yeah,
it's so yeah.
But
I think that I almost think that the documentary isn't necessarily being filmed at all, except when
no.
you're in the room with them physically,
Yeah,
present day.
exactly. I
Mm.
think that
I
there's
almost
just
feel
a
like the
story.
Oh yeah, continue, Liza. Go ahead.
No, no, you go.
I was just gonna say I almost feel like all of like the in between portions were just kind of like them experiencing it as she's talking.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're just so in her story. They're so wrapped up into it and so captivated by it, like, that it pulls them in. But I had a few questions about symbolism, that I don't understand that maybe plays a role in this. I'm not entirely sure. But there were 3 things that stuck out to me where I feel like they wanted us to pay attention to it. And so the lotus at the beginning, because she's directly asks, "Okay, well, do you understand the symbolism of the
yeah.
lotus?"
Well,
And
and
it was
like the space station was even a lotus when
Right.
when you
Yeah,
see
it
that
opens up.
opening
That's
station, like it's totally
right.
a lotus,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. I
Oh
didn't
my
make that connection until they
god.
showed it again at the end.
yeah, no, say
Damn. Were there other ones that like the lotus was there?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
Okay,
I
'cause
didn't see
okay,
any
I
other
don't
ones.
see
That
any
was
there
others.
was the
so we have the
lotus,
lotus.
the full moon, and
Okay.
then the key.
You don't think earthquakes too?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like
Earthquakes
the earthquakes. I think the
int
earthquakes are there to give you beats in a timeline,
Hmm.
right? Like I see the earthquakes as establishing realities to where like earthquake when she's born, that's a specific time. Earthquake when they're going to make the documentary, that's a specific time. Like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And so yeah, like
well, and, like, painting like, the painting too, because
mhm.
Oh
he's a
yeah.
painter, all these things. I was just, like, keeping a note there, like, I 'cause maybe I missed it, But with the key, they're like it opens the most important thing that there ever is. But do we ever actually understand like what it opens or like what it's for?
I don't think
No,
it
I
opens
think I
anything. I think
think
that was
I
like
think
the object of her obsession.
yeah, the key represents her
Hope?
the key represents the principle of the obsession. Like, you know, you're too fixated on this key, so you're not paying attention to those around you. Like equates to you're obsessed with this guy you don't even know, so you're not appreciating the life that you're living and leading, right?
Right.
Because
Well, and the Ghost Witch says that, right?
yeah,
You'll be
totally.
forever haunted or obsessed with the love and
The curse of love.
Yeah,
the
be
curse
like
of love.
burning, like eternal, like the fire of burning or whatever.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, because it's like it's interesting to the day. So when she first meets the guy, it says what's wrapped in that paper is the painting she finds, right? When she gets to that snowy
Yeah.
scene.
Hmm.
But then they're talking about the moon and and she's like, "Oh, it's a full moon." And he says, "Well, it's not full. That's tomorrow. But this is the best moon because tomorrow is hope, right? Like tomorrow."
I think he was being kind of a little wiener about that, as far as I'm
You know,
concerned.
it's like
You know what
Jesus
I mean?
Christ, dude. Like we don't know
I
Just
agree.
waxing, waning.
if
Like who
like
knows?
this is the guy you fell for, just like
He's very
actually,
pretentious.
like
Waxing,
What do we know
it's
waning.
about him?
not the
Well,
full
it's not.
moon. Like
But he gives a date. What was the date? April 14th. Why was that?
April 14th.
Didn't
Yeah,
he
I
say
remember
that?
so close to 420.
So close yet so far. I don't know, but it was like this whole thing because so like thinking about the moon, there's another day. If there's another day, there's hope. And I think that that maybe ties back to the key because yes, it's a symbol of her obsession and distraction. But it's also the thing that like keeps her hopeful that one day she will find this man. Like one day she will, like be reunited with him. And I think that it's interesting when the older actress steals that key because so much of what she hates about the younger actress and Chiyoki, is that her
Mhm.
name? Um,
Chiyoko.
Chiyoko.
Yep.
What she envies about Chiyoko is her youth and that hope and like how those are so relentlessly intertwined. And I thought that that was very interesting that she's the one who took that key.
I read this as an anti-hope movie, which is one of the reasons I like it, because I think that hope is inherently a flawed concept.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Hope is for suckers.
hope is for suckers, man. Because it's just like
Make a plan.
I
Take
think
action.
I think
Yeah, exactly, Eliza.
I also think when you stop hoping, I hope I have more money. I hope I get this better job. I hope I'm with this person. I hope I live in this place. Right? Like, I think once you stop hoping and once you look around at where you're at and accept it, where you're at is kind of okay. And I think there's a lot of beauty in accepting that it is kind of hopeless.
Yeah, interesting.
No,
Interesting.
I disagree with accepting where you are versus understanding where you are.
Yeah, good.
If you accept it, then you're not going to do anything about it. I just accept it. Okay, hands up. I give up. But
Yeah,
I say,
right.
okay,
You're just a product of the world. This is what, yeah,
I
we were talking
understand
about
where I
earlier.
am.
Mhm.
So that's different. Now, if you understand where you are, then you can decide, okay, I'll stay where I am or I'll do something different.
I also
it's-
just think hope can be a tool for you as well. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think hope is a bad thing. I think devoting everything to hope is like foolish, right? But for me, for example, right, I do my stream every day. We're doing this podcast every day. We gotta hope people watch it, right? We're gonna do everything that we can to make sure that it's the best thing ever.
I kind
But
of
we gotta hope
don't watch it.
we gotta hope someone clicks on it. We gotta hope we resonate with someone when we speak.
We gotta hope somebody posts our link to their 10 million TikTok followers and
Yeah, the TikTok.
What
It's
do you
hard to
mean?
plug someone on TikTok. I actually could grab a snippet of. If you want to send me the audio or the video file afterwards.
oh,
I
send
think
you.
I feel more aligned with you, Luke. Like the
Oh,
idea, hope is very powerful when you need it. Like sometimes you really need hope, right? But oftentimes we're hoping when we have every opportunity to really go and do something about it versus sitting back and hoping that we'll get the result that we want. And I think that's where it becomes dangerous.
So I'll give
Mhm.
you an example. I buy lottery tickets every week. I hope I win the lottery. That's not a plan. That's a hope.
No, no, you can't plan on hope.
Yeah,
That's
you
I
can't
agree.
plan on winning the lottery, but
Yeah.
I hope I win it. Oh, let me check my ticket. Hey,
That's
let me give you one thing that I thought. I mean, it's very rare that a movie sends chills up my spine.
yeah.
But okay, Atticus, what's the interviewer's name? What's his character's name?
Genya.
Genya. So when all hell's breaking loose, and that the guy who killed, oh, spoiler alert, everybody understands. Movie
Spoilers.
club has spoiler alerts. But the guy who killed the guy who made the painting comes to see her again,
Yeah,
and
the
then
detective.
yeah, oh, not the detective. He meets her again at the studio, and she's like, "What are you doing here? Why are you
Oh
here?"
yeah,
Yeah,
And
the guy with the scar.
the same guy.
oh, okay, yeah, but when the interviewer is leaving as his present self, sees his younger self, and just for a moment he turns back and looks at himself in the past, and it was here once again the subtlety of the animation.
Hmm.
At that point I feel like they did something a little different, but it really hit me because he
Yeah.
was looking at, and he knew the
Yeah,
significance. We didn't know the significance of what he was doing at that point, but him looking back at himself, oh, that was that was
yeah.
Oh, right.
So, Satoshi
yeah.
Kon, I think, does a really every single one of his movies, I think, does a really good job of capturing like the shared experience of not no one ever expected their life to be the way that it is, like, and no one's you couldn't imagine and
Cue the
ever
waterworks.
picture exactly how your life is going to be. And like there's like it's like so many people work a job they thought they'd never work. A lot of people, lose relationships and have relationships that they thought they'd never have. And I don't know what it is about how Satoshi Kon captures and animates facial expressions, but he does an amazing job of, like I can't remember which one of his movies. Well, one of his other movies, the main theme is a person has the ability to travel through time, and at the end of the movie, they decide that they wouldn't go back, right? That where they're at in their life, even though it isn't perfect, they wouldn't trade it. And I
Mhm.
think about that a lot to where, because I think one of the main points of suffering that I see with people is that they have this accepted thing to where if I could take a pill and go back in time 10 years, I totally would, right? And I don't think that I would.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
Because you
either.
have no idea, because you can only think when we look back and we think about what could have been, we think about all the better things.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't think about all the other things that could go wrong or would go wrong or the people you might never meet or have, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's
I mean, I know it's a different movie, but I think you're talking about defending your life in a way you look, if you get a chance. And that's the other thing about this movie, and I did think about
yeah.
that while I was watching, was defending your life. And
Totally.
you look at, if you have the opportunity to look at you yourself from an outside perspective, which is kind of what they were doing in a way, especially the director, the interviewer, and he was the one I think who was looking more at himself And I'm still like,
I
how
mean,
did he turn
yeah.
into the bus driver or the truck driver? And how did
Yeah.
he be the guy that rescues her on the road with the
Well,
bandits
it's
and
like
stuff? I mean,
it's like the movie's got a real Tarantino ass timeline because it's like it's
yeah,
telling two stories, right? Like the story
Yeah, like simultaneously.
yeah,
of Chiyoko and this painter, and then at the same time, like, sorry, I really leaned into this wax on, wax off thing here, but
It's
like
helping. Beautiful.
at the same time, Genya reconciling with the reality of the person that is Chiyoko, and then Chiyoko gripping with the realities of who this guy is,
right.
you know, and it's just like I think it's like I get it, like it's especially with COVID, it's really hard to accept that an idea is dead, or that or something, or an era is over, right? And I see people fighting with it all the time, just waiting for stuff to go back to normal, and it's like that ship is fucking
Yeah,
sailed, man.
Yeah.
that's gone.
Like, and you gotta accept
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going back to normal. I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to go to the same state fair that you went to when you were a kid, but that's fucking life,
Fletcher's corn dogs, baby.
Right.
It is devastating, though. It's devastating
It is.
to realize that something you took for granted is gone, and it's like there is no going back.
But
Yo,
there
it's a
never
real,
is.
Yeah, there's
real
there's
Even
no
puzzling
before
thing.
do-overs.
COVID, there wasn't.
Right,
It's
You
just
know,
amplified now.
it was easier
know?
to have that illusion that
but then there you go. There's one of my favorite lines is tradition is the illusion of permanence.
wow, yeah.
That's why you have traditions. So that's why you have Christmas. So Christmas is always the same. But you know what? It's not always the same. Everybody gets older. Oh, now you're going to go have Christmas somewhere else because you're married and you're doing X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's what tradition
Well,
is about, to try to convince people nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
it's interesting even thinking about, like, Christmas as an example is every year you hope it's going to be that same magical feeling that you had when you were a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not. So,
Oh,
like, how often are these illusions or these traditions setting us up to be disappointed, or the grip, the tighter grip you have on the past and the further away you get from the past, the sadder
yes.
I think you could be.
Or you could be like 7 years old and you have your older brother open the trunk of the car and show you all the presents. And you're like, oh, man, what the hell
Someone
is
There it
that?
is.
Dad.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
The
if
ultimate
there are any
spoiler
7-year-olds
alert.
watching, don't
Right.
say it's
I
not
always,
real. Sorry.
I always say not for
Your parent,
children. When I
not
post
for
the
children.
content, is not for children.
Not for
Uh,
kids. Those
Side
kids out of
note,
here.
I'm so worried because little Tommy, so our friend Tommy's living with us right now. He has 2 kids, little Tommy and Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not know. They still believe in Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy.
It's not real.
And I'm constantly on edge that I'm going to spoil it. Like, so please, God. Anyways, back to it.
Hey, so let me give you. Oh, when we're talking about the animation,
Yeah, oh
you're
gosh.
right.
Oh, yeah.
The animation in this is. I mean, I thought the animation in Waking Life was far more creative. It's a completely different genre and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there are points when they threw her in that prison cell or that jail cell, that floor. I almost I went back and watched it to see, did he piece a bit of film, a film clip, a real film clip in there, or was that animation? And I'm convinced it was animation, but it looks so
It's
freaking real.
it's all it's all cell cap animation.
That
Like, there's
I mean,
wow.
no
so stuff like that.
effects
There were
or
things like
anything.
that in there where I thought it was
Magnificent.
phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a genius, man.
I
Like,
also
it's
just
go ahead, Luke, please.
no. I want you to talk first.
No, I mean, like, Satoshi Kon again. So there are people that are super tasters, right? Do you guys like know what I mean? Like, there's chefs
They
out
can.
there that have like enhanced palates. Like, their
Okay.
palates are so incredibly sensitive that they're called super tasters, right? Because like
Wow.
they can really taste everything.
Wow.
And you know, and if you and I've watched a couple of interviews with people that have those palettes, and I think the thing that resonates with me that's relevant to everything that you do in life is that they say, like, you know, I taste everything so strongly that what makes this skill useful or detrimental is being able to ignore the things I'm not looking for.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
about like isolating and, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? And so, and I think that I try and use that in my life a lot, about, you know, trying to, if I'm just open to seeing everything, right, then it's gonna be too much. And so focusing and honing down on specific things that are relevant to me and what I'm trying to do is been a big challenge in my life. And Satoshi Kon does that in his art, uh, so incredibly well, that it's like those little things that you would never think that you would think about
Yes.
subconsciously pop up. And like that floor, like no one's like, who's gonna look at the floor? Who cares, right? Hey, hey,
Oh, hey.
She got to go to work.
guest star.
Yes.
Okay, hi, bye.
You're the guest star. Um,
But yeah, Atticus,
But
keep going.
no, that's essentially it. You know, it's just like, I think that if you hone that skill of being able to ignore the things that aren't relevant to you and focus on the things that are important to you, you'll be happier overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's such a hard skill to learn.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
bit like the Darjeeling Limited scene when they're letting go of their father's baggage. You know, they're running towards the train and they're just having to let go of it.
Yeah.
I can't even go to Darjeeling Limited.
I love that
How
movie. You know what's
emotionally
my
stable.
favorite Wes Anderson?
Is it really?
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I love
That's a
that
good
one.
Yeah.
What one?
Lisa.
The scene, Claire de Lune, middle of the desert,
Oh yeah.
insane.
And the other one
You
where he
think that's
says
your favorite?
Yeah, that's my favorite Wes Anderson film,
That's a
and
good
probably
one. Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
when the kids fall into
Dad,
the
stop. You're just trying to make me cry. I know you
Oh,
don't even want go ahead,
I
but
couldn't
please.
save that one. Anyway,
We should watch that one sometime.
We
And
should.
we will.
Yeah,
We'll
totally.
we'll get to all the Wes Anderson movies at some
We
point, but
should do like a Wes Anderson like
Wes Anderson
block.
month.
Yeah,
Mhm. I agree.
we'll do 2 at a time.
there
Perfect.
you go.
Why
Okay, so
why would we
here's
do-
another line from the movie that it really struck me pretty strong, is when the old actress says to Chikoyo, whatever her name is,
Chiyoko.
Chiyoko, yeah, that's it. When she says, "Do you think you have the right to die young?" I thought that was like, you're right. You know, she's like, "Don't tell me what to do," but then she says, "No, I need you." You know, it's like that whole, "Do you have the
Hmm.
right to die?" I've never thought about that with these people doing these things and crazy stuff, and say, "Do you have the right to die young?" No, I thought that was
What
a
does
great
that
line.
mean to you? What does that mean to you, do you think?
It means that sometimes you have to use caution in life because you have more to do.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You don't have the right to not be there for what's going to happen down the road. So they tell you, no, you need to stay alive. And for the old lady in the storyline at the time, it was very selfish. But I
Mm,
think the statement as a whole meant, no, everybody can't go out doing dumb things out of love and die, or
yeah.
out of excitement or selfishness. No, you need to stay alive. So I don't know. I
You
thought I
know,
was
that actually really makes me think of Saving Private Ryan and the whole idea, like, when Private Ryan is, refusing to go home and he wants to stay, and it's like,
yeah,
I
you
can
don't have
oh my god, hi, Mr. President.
little Trumpy. He's
Little
big Trumpy now. Look at him.
Not
little
his name. Not his name.
It is his
Not his
name.
name, just to be clear, everyone.
Little
Not his name.
Trumpy.
This whole idea that like,
Mr. President.
yeah, you might think your purpose or your life's purpose is to fall in love with this person, but maybe your life's purpose is to continue the legacy because your brothers are dead, or like whatever
Right.
it is. Like you think you know your big why or your big reason, but especially when you're young, you're usually further off than you think.
Right. And you don't know what's coming down the road. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know. And I will get a little philosophical in here, but I've at the job I do, I impact a lot of people's lives, but even then, I don't feel like it's a big deal. I don't get any. I don't. It's weird because I don't get that, like, oh, you're helping these little kids. Oh, I like, okay, I'm not insensitive to what I'm doing. I'm very
Mhm.
professional about it, but other people get a greater sense of value about out of what they're doing,
Mhm.
and I don't understand why I don't get that. It's weird, but so
Maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing where you're supposed to be doing it.
no, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Do you think maybe you've just gotten used to it?
No, no,
No?
Yeah.
it's a
That's
challenge
one of
every
the
day.
that's
It's something.
that's one of the greatest Larry David jokes of all time. He's in a big high-rise office and he's looking out a window and he asks the person who owns the office, it's like, this is a great view. How long did it take you to take it for granted?
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. Scout. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Larry
But
David. Wow.
you find yeah, you don't know. And Eliza, and I think this goes back to our pre-recording conversation.
Yeah,
You don't know what you've got. It's there. Anything's there. And
right.
this movie kind of, reminds you, just, don't, yeah, like you said, don't look back and think I was chasing a ghost all this time. Figure out what you want to do.
Exactly. And I think that like in the conversation we were having earlier about hope
Go to your spot.
and like wanting to take action on all these things, like before you can even think about where you want to go, you have to really understand where you are, you know?
Mhm.
Yes.
And then where you are also means who you are, because
Agree.
that is the one thing that no matter like trying a different job, moving to a different city, like being with a different partner, all of that's great. But unless you're looking inwards and you're thinking about like, well, who am I when I'm showing up to these things? Who am I in this world? And unless you're happy with that, none of those external things, none of that chasing is ever going to satisfy you. You'll be running forever. You're just chasing a ghost because it really is.
Eliza, do you prefer printed books, or digital?
Printed.
Okay. I'm going to send you a copy of that book, 12 Rules for Life,
I would love that.
because I think
It's a good
it
one.
would really help you right now. And just so,
Yeah.
this author gets a bad rap for other things, but he's really helping people better themselves. And yeah, so anyway, I'll send all you guys a copy. We'll have
Oh,
a book club.
Book club.
I'll be honest. A book will probably just sit there.
Yeah.
Well,
I
what
don't
I
read
can
that
do is
often.
I
Not
can
mine.
read it and then I can
Yeah.
tell you guys the
You
highlight.
can read it to Luke.
Mhm.
Good, read it to me.
We can do bedtime
Okay, wait.
stories.
White Horse, director, film. I'm not. The other thing. Oh, this was another good quote. Was when Chikoki, she said, "I'm not."
Chiyoko.
Chiyoko said, "I'm not the same person I was when he met me," or something like that. And it was about going back and who she's, the constant pursuit for this person. And she said that, and I was like, well, then why are you pursuing him? So, and that had nothing to do with it. I mean, we come to
Well,
find out that had nothing to do with the fact that she wasn't the same person. She was chasing, where is it? Chasing the shadow of a person that no longer exists.
Right.
Ugh,
Oh yeah.
that's the other
And at the
little
end of the day,
chills up
yeah,
the yeah.
guy's
That one
gone.
got me too, because how many times, like when you've broken up with somebody, you've been fighting for a relationship or you've been fighting so hard to like make it work. And it could be, a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a job. And it's like you're trying so hard to get back that feeling you first had. Like, but you two aren't those people anymore.
Right.
You're not going to find it. So it's like, do you create something new together or do you just move on? And I think that that's so like,
You just move on.
yeah.
I
And it's
learned that
hard.
the hard way recently. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Didn't I tell you about that gal I knew I dated when I was in like 19 or whatever, 1920 or
No.
not in 1920 when I was 19
That's
or 20.
no. That sounds about right.
Let's get down. Like,
But
Yeah.
you did that
I
little
the
roast. That lifted
the heir, the heir, the heiress to the Dumont network.
but anyway, through her sister, we reconnected, and there was a long backstory about the whole thing, but we reconnected 35, 36 years later, and then we
How'd she
started
look? She keep it
texting
tight.
each other. We started texting each other, clearing up the air about things that happened a long time ago. But in the end, we were both very different people than who we were back then.
Hmm.
good.
And
Well,
that's,
of course.
but
And as you should be, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm unrecognizable from 4 years ago. Unrecognizable. I think
You're
if like
unrecognizable from 46 minutes ago.
what?
You look a little lighter.
oh
Oh.
yeah,
I had a big job
much.
coming on.
I
Poop
had a
joke.
big job. Yeah, I think like high school me would have looked at me and been like, "What a degenerate,"
Okay.
because I had all these like
Yes.
views of what was good and what wasn't,
Yeah.
But
But I'm
you
very happy
should.
with who I am now.
So
High school me would have seen me now and been like, hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's do a roundabout and see everybody just without any prep. Give me a 2 or 3 sentence summation of what you think the point of the movie was. Luke, you're up.
Okay, I'll start. Yep. I think the point of the movie was to be present at all times and to understand that there are things to look forward to, but don't let them consume you. And
That's
don't
good.
and they aren't guaranteed ever.
Mm.
Aye.
For me, it's the point is the idea of something is always better than the reality of it.
Mm.
And that you'll always create a better version of a person in your mind than they probably are. But flaws are what makes us beautiful and interesting, and flaws are a big part of love because they're a big part of being human. And that the pursuit or the journey is always better than the dream, like of where you get. Like when you arrive, you realize the pursuit was the part that you wanted.
And doesn't Chiyoko say that
Mm-hmm.
the pursuit was more important than anything else? And
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't mean to be cliche-ish, but people say it all the time. It's it's the journey, not the destination. Once you
Yeah.
get there, then what happens? And it's like that rock climber said, it's not an adventure until something goes wrong.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what this movie tells you. It's like so many things went wrong throughout the story and transposing of her many lives, if that's what it was, or her singles life. There were a lot of obstacles, and that's what made it an adventure for her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just understand that you're on the journey, whatever that is. So that's
Yeah.
the message I took.
Atticus?
Oh yeah, goose.
I think if I had to sum it up into a few sentences, I'd say eat, pray, love, keep calm and jive on. No, I'm just joking. I think it really. I think
about to mute
what
you.
I think what I said in the beginning is like, yeah, like life doesn't always mirror fiction or our perception of such, and that's okay. And as long as we're focused on the journey and not the destination, you're gonna be all right, bud. Be a-okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I will. Yeah, good movie, Atticus. Really good.
All right, let's do the thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways.
Okay.
On 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. I give it a thumbs up.
Sweet. This is the highest rated movie so far.
Wow, thumbs up across the board. Look at that.
Okay. I'll start with the 1 to 10 scale. I will give it a solid 8. I thought it was, I mean, once again, you're not looking for a Totoro type animation, or it's the story, and that's the other cool thing that's why I give it an 8 too, because you could have made this movie with actors.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would have had the same. I don't think it would have had the same feeling at all. So
I agree.
That's that. I mean, yeah, and anything gets a 10 on a rewatchability score.
Yeah, this is a
high
easy
as far
10.
as I'm concerned. So.
Yeah.
I would say this is
On
a minimum 2 watches. I think if you can,
minimum,
if I had to make a minimum 2 watches, I would say
Easy.
if you can, right, watch the subtitled version and focus on the dialogue first, and then rewatch it again. If you can find the dub, great. If not, no worries. Just watch it again, and then just watch the movie itself. You know, because the visuals are so good, and I think that you get a lot from the two things together.
I watched the subtitle one, and I didn't feel like I missed out on any of the visuals.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like Waking Life.
That sounds like someone who missed out on some visuals. No, I'm sorry.
Damn.
But okay, I'm gonna do my rating. Okay, so I give it a 8.79542. The reason I gave it that specific was because I think it was close to a 9, very close.
So specific.
And I would have had more. I would have had more digits, but I think animation gets really overlooked, and I'm gonna go off on a quick tangent. Like this year, the Oscars, for example, Encanto wins. Encanto, not a bad movie, right? But the movie
pretty good.
It's
that should have won was a story like this. You know, it had real, tangible value to it, and wasn't just a happy-go-lucky fun time.
Did you see Encanto? Like, what are you talking about?
We're about to fuck around and have Encanto be the next pick, because I
think Encanto's fine, right? I loved Encanto.
Wow, Lin-Manuel Miranda's a hack. Hamilton sucks. The worst.
Wow.
I'm not saying Encanto wasn't a great movie.
On the record, Luke hates Hamilton.
And Encanto.
I didn't love Hamilton.
Was overrated.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
What'd you say? And if you start on about you didn't like Citizen Kane because it was black and white, I swear to God.
I don't like Citizen Kane because it was
all true things that Luke has said.
But wait. No, but like so apparently, like with the votes this year, a bunch of people abstained from the animated one, and then a bunch of other people came out and said, my daughter liked this film, so I voted for it. Like, I don't think everything got a fair chance, and like animation like this movie, right, deserves more attention. Is all I'm trying to get at.
Of the movie that should have won? What's the name of the movie that you thought should have won?
Here, let me look it up.
Oh, so you can't even remember the name of the movie. It was that impactful?
Dude, okay, so first off, I'm coming from like a different perspective, right? I have a bunch of like film people that like I talk to every day that said this movie should have won over like the rest
Got it.
of
A
them
bunch
because I
of
did
a
watch.
bunch of a bunch of bunch of dorks got
I
into
mean,
your
it's
head.
interesting. Like, I think you guys probably will realize, like, from my selection of Paddington 2, like, I'm a mainstream bitch. Like, I'm not afraid to indulge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I am the every woman, you know?
Pumpkin Spice
So
the movie.
it's good to bring these things up, Luke, because I love to love movies, and Encanto was easy to love. I didn't even think about what else was in that category, you know?
Right.
I didn't even watch it.
They
But
didn't even talk about. They don't talk about Bruno.
no,
All right, Eliza, what's your number score?
I'm giving it a nice hard 8. I did
Hard
not
H.
what? You don't
Hard
like
eight.
that score?
No, that's what I gave it.
I don't like the hard part of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm giving it
I'm
an
giving
8.
I'm giving it a nice erect 8.
Oh god, that's not what I meant. Okay, I'm giving it an 8
Rectated.
non-sexually.
A nice flaccid 8.
A flaccid 8. Damn, a flaccid 8. Can you imagine?
Son. No, I cannot.
Kitty, this is not. I have to post that on YouTube.
Not for kids.
Not for kids.
It's
Gotta,
not for kids.
click that. Check that button, boys.
Mhm, yeah.
You
But
don't want to miss that button.
I have to be honest. Like, I'm just gonna. I was telling my husband and my roommate. I was like, you guys, I can't with these movies they're picking. I can't. Like, is my taste so different from theirs? Like, is this gonna just feel like work every single?
Well, yeah.
And so I went into this movie prepared to hate it, like prepared to be rolling my eyes or just not get it. And it was so instant that I enjoyed it. Like, just how goofy, Genya was. He's just such a klutz, and they're like getting out and all this stuff. And then immediately they're showing the animation of like the city. And I was like, wait, is that real? Or like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
And before I
That
knew
was
it, I
good.
was so endeared to the story and to the characters and to like, I don't watch a ton of animation or anime is what I mean. I don't watch a ton of anime. I think I've only, out of all the anime movies, I've seen Spirited Away, Totoro, and Akira. And that Akira scared the shit out of me, so I didn't watch anymore.
Ooh,
And like,
classic.
it's this thing where I know that you guys, Luke and Atticus, you guys like have such a respect for the form of art and like the culture in this like, as a medium. And I always felt kind of like not cool enough to get it. And I found that this story was so accessible. Like, you don't have to understand anime or understand. It's just a good story and it's a beautiful movie. So I really, really liked it. And I would totally watch it again. And I'm happy to say that I'm wrong. And it's a good reminder to just like I need to have more of an open mind, I think.
Well, and I think that's part of these, why we're doing this is to open each other up to the movies that I'd never heard of Waking Life. I've never heard of Millennium Actress.
Had you heard of Paddington 2?
No. Yes, of course. Actually, no. I heard of Paddington. I didn't know there was a Paddington 2. So anyway. All right, Atticus, your
grand finale.
Yeah, I think it's I think I'm giving it an 8.79543.
Okay.
It's a little bit more.
That's a little less, actually.
No, it's a little bit more. I wrote the number down. And so yeah.
I'll look it up.
We should do wait, I'm cutting you off. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're fine. No, what's your idea?
I was gonna say one of the challenges that we should do, like as we complete a round, like I feel like we could theme the rounds being like, okay, let's try to pick the closest to a perfect movie that we could, or like things like that, like trying to get people to be like this, like I think this is the closest to a 10 of a movie I like or something. But that's my ADHD talking. I want to finish your I want to hear the rest of your review and your score.
No, I absolutely love this movie. Like it's really good. It resonated with me with a real way, and I'm overjoyed that it connected with my family as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I mean, at first I didn't think I was, but then that story just took off, and it started getting more and more complex. And like I said, I have to watch it again just to get a better understanding of what I think I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Because
just
it's like it's a tough sell, right? You know, it's just like, hey, watch this movie. Oh, great, what's it about? It's just like, oh, this old hag who loves this dead, tortured guy, you know, and then the fat guy that's obsessed with the old hag. Well, you want to watch this, right? Like, it's great.
why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I don't know why people have a problem with me explaining it like that.
My favorite part of it is like I could so see Atticus, like you and Dad, playing the part of the
The cinematography guy. Yeah, when he gets hit with, I think some of the best animation in the movie is when Genya throws that little camera bag at the other guy in the very beginning when they're walking up the mountain. Like, that is genuinely so surprising. Like, they do such a good job with that, where you feel like you're getting hit with this thing too.
Yeah.
So funny.
That was funny.
Well, cool. Good round.
Good choice. So in that vein, we're gonna stay with Japanese movies for next week.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna show the trailer.
Okay.
All right.
Let
We
me
love
open
that.
my
Can't wait.
mind again.
What's that?
I said I clearly needed to open my mind again just now.
Okay.
While the trailer's loading up, I think okay,
Oh,
trailer's not.
Jesus.
Trailer's there.
Rashomon.
What do you guys think about
Boring.
Elon Musk buying a bunch of Twitter?
I hate it.
Oh, I didn't see
hate
that.
it.
Interesting.
I'm gonna complain about this thing for 10 years, and I'm gonna buy most of it. Like,
Okay, I'm excited because
Nice.
I've been meaning
classic.
to watch this and had no
Same.
reason to until now. So
Exactly.
Dad, are you muted?
I
I have to mute. If not, there's an echo.
Yeah, no, good call. Cool. Yeah, I think you and I talked about this when we were talking about The Last Duel, and how it's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It resonates with me because it'll be good. I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I do, but I mean, we just went through a movie with subtitles, so it shouldn't be that hard to tackle another one.
Yeah, subtitles are fine.
You guys want
Totally.
to see my new keyboard real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, sick.
Oh, nice. Clickety
color
clack.
I know. It's super
Hey,
good.
dude,
I
what's
like
this
that.
about you getting banned from live streams on TikTok?
So one of the milestones about becoming a big streamer on TikTok is getting banned because
For
people
what?
So I guess I got banned for bullying and harassing, but no one everyone knows that I don't do that, right? But people just like troll. You know what an
Oh,
internet troll is? And
yeah,
TikTok isn't very good about discerning real like reports vice non-real reports, right?
got it.
So they just are like quick action. No one actually reviews it, and
Right on.
yeah, so they
So
just
how
took
long
it
are you
down.
banned?
2 days, 2 more days.
Oh, 2 days.
But I already put an appeal in for it. So I put an appeal in, it got approved, but it didn't work, right? So the appeal got approved, but the
You're
it
still
said
banned,
appeal approved, live access restored, right?
but you're still banned.
But it still doesn't let me use it. Yeah, so I sent them an email because I'm one of their like I'm classified as one of their like creators in like the creator fund dashboard, like because I'm a pretty big person on there. I'm not like huge, but like I
You got
have a sizable market,
two
I
million
guess.
likes, 76, 77,000 subscribers, or whatever.
Truly.
All right. Well, I was curious. I saw that TikTok of yours, and I've been banned.
Bastards.
Bastards.
Rat
All right.
bitches.
Rat bastards, indeed. Sorry, I'm starving, so I'm just
Okay.
eating.
No
No
problem.
worries. Yeah, I'm probably gonna
Hey,
eat
it's
some
all good.
pizza
Okay. On
after
that note,
this.
we're gonna wrap it up for this week. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good week. We'll see you next week on Movie Club for Rashomon.
Much love,
Great
everyone.
sign off,
Rashomon.
Dad.